Good morning. Hi, dogs. Well, I decided I wanted to start a channel for some of my automotive stuff. I'm gonna try and figure out a schedule for when I'm gonna be uploading things. Nothing set at the moment, but I've got a bit of work and reorganizing to do before I can really start getting going on the vehicles themselves. I'll do a little bit better of an introduction in a bit with the stuff I've got, but in short terms, I've got my 99 Ram there. I've got 92 CV7. I've got my 89 RX7. I've got two very loud, noisy dogs. Woof. I've got this Xterra here. I actually plan on turning the Xterra here into a camper at some point in time, but I originally got it because I robbed the engine for my Datsun 720 dually. And so, yeah, I've been working on getting that mounted in there. Still needs a lot of work. Going a little bit further back, I've got my Datsun 720 trailer. Got my brother-in-law's Mustang that had a tree fall on it. I have my 56 Dodge Coronet. Currently has a 318 in there with 360 heads that I need to get running. But at some point in time, I do want to build a 440 that I have in the garage and throw that in there. I've also got my parts RX7 over here. It's basically what it is for parts. I need to grab the exhaust off of here at some point in time. It's a Racing Beat setup, and I'm going to throw it on the other car before I get that actually out and doing anything. But that's what I got. A little trailer that was a mini camper, and I actually would love to kind of build that again. That'd be fun. The remnants of an 82 Chevy K20, a 51 Chevy cab, 3100 cab and hood, which I think would be fun to kind of just rat out and throw onto some sort of chassis at some point in the future. Don't know if it'll ever happen. This stuff's been sitting back here for a while. At some point in time, I do need to at least just get this metal out of here and, you know, get it for scrap. My big issue, however, starts with this, is my garage is the biggest absolute mess ever. And so I need to start cleaning out my garage before I can do anything else. And that's what I'm gonna, you know, try and do here today, at least get started on that.
What? What?
Yeah, so as you can see by the shelves here, at one point in time I did have this organized, and I used to be able to fit a car in here, and that's essentially the goal, that I would like to get to a point where I can get the RX7 back in here, because it'll make it a lot easier to work on it, especially when things get hot. If I've got, you know, a nice garage to do it in. I used to have some little LED lights up there, but they somehow died over this last winter, so I'm gonna have to replace those, because the actual like electricity and lights and everything that's in here, like, none of that shit works. It's no longer connected to anything, which honestly would be nice to actually get the garage rewired again, because I've got a nice big old freaking thing there that I'd like to, air compressor, that's what it's called, that I'd like to get up and running, because that would help me a ton if I could actually get some decent air tools going. The only air thing I have is this little pancake compressor over there, and it's about as useful as I don't know, pissing in the wind. For air tools, it's good for airing up tires and stuff, and that's about it. But yeah, so I guess I just got to get started cleaning at some point in time. I got to figure out where I need to even start here. Need to get my blacksmithing stuff probably moved over there. I've got these two kind of like wooden box things that are back there. I was trying to make some terrariums at one point in time years ago. I need to really just get rid of those. So that's probably what I might start doing, is by getting rid of those and moving my anvils back over there so they're out of the way. And then I can figure out from there. So let's get to it, I guess. Okay, whew. I mean, it probably didn't look like I did much there, but this shit weighs a ton, and it's already killing my back. Oh, man. But yeah, so I've got my little railroad anvil, I got my, furnace, got my other anvil. This is the 440 Mopar that I've been kind of working on. It's been tearing it down a little bit. It needs some help though. It's going to need some repairs, especially like these mounting brackets up here, because they are just gone. So I'm going to need to find somebody who can do cast iron, because it is going to probably cost a shit ton, but it'll cost less to repair this than it would be to get a good clean 440 block. There's going to be a lot of this, probably like moving things from one place to another, moving them back to a different place, kind of this back and forth until I get everything organized and where I want it to be, because I'm not exactly sure where I want everything at the moment. Plus, I'm going to need to load up my trailer and take a load to the dump, most likely with all the garbage and shit that I have in here. So, I'll try and like keep the swearing down. It's just the way it is. But yeah, the hard thing is I need to find a place for my drill press, find a place for my grinder and my torch and the welder. That's what that's called. Amongst all the other things of me finding and reorganizing my tools and getting yard tools and stuff, I actually might end up trying to get a small shed to put like the yard tools in, like my extra scrap metal. Got like a mower and a snowblower and stuff out back, and probably even put the blacksmithing stuff back there too, because that'll help clear up some space. My goal by the end of the day, if I can get to it, is I would like to actually have the RX7 in here, at least by the end of this video. It might take a day or two. I'll be completely honest with you. I suck at getting things done in a timely manner. I put an engine in the RX7 2 years ago, and the only reason it's not running is because I hate doing electrical stuff, and so I have yet to take the harness that I have and actually wire it all up, because it was pretty stripped out at one point in time. But it's going to be a great car when it's done, I hope. It depends on, I guess, the effort that I put into it, which so far has been very little. So I do hope to turn that around and actually put effort into it and actually make it a car worth owning and worth driving. I plan on doing like autocross, maybe some NASA days at some point in time, but I would just love to get it running, if nothing else, and because I don't have the money to pay someone else to do that either. And I got to work on my own shit. I got to learn to do that. So, okay. It's far from perfect, but I'm definitely getting there. Got a lot of that stuff cleaned up. Got a few more things just kind of thrown on the shelf back there. Obviously, still need to organize some stuff. I got like all the tires back there I need to stack and have an easily accessible place, because they're the summer tires for my wife's car. Still got about a third of the garage to go, though, which comprises probably about 2/3 of the mess that I have. And most of that's simply because I got a ton of tools just kind of hiding in here that need to be sorted and thrown back in the box. And that's going to take an annoying amount of time. I'm going to try and get this, like I said, I would love to actually get the car in here today, but don't know if that's going to happen. But let's see where I can get to. Well, like I said about moving stuff to the side for now, you can actually see I've got a lot of this stuff cleaned up, partially organized. Like I said, kind of moved to the side. I'm putting a bunch of this other stuff back up in here. Need to get my drill press from the ground over there onto this table. Find somewhere to kind of put a lot of this stuff off to the side. Still need, I could probably just slide that sideways, but maybe that one as well, in front of the toolbox. Just trying to figure out where I can put all of it so I can get the rest of this stuff sweeped up and then move some of these around just a little bit so I can get the RX7 back here, because that would be dope. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to give a quick update instead of having you watch me just clean for several hours. So hopefully next update has the car in here, or at least I'm getting it moved. Anyway, let's see what I got going on here, because the hood is popped. I can show you kind of what's underneath here. So I am staying with the rotary. Here. I've got kit on the front. I can't remember what it's called because it's literally kind of like running as bare bones as I can get it. I've got like nothing extra that's going to be hooked up to this engine. Honestly, the only thing I really need to do is hook up cooling, wiring, and just kind of go through it and make sure everything's tightened down. It's not a lot, but I've just been kind of overwhelmed with life lately, so at least the last couple of years. I actually put the engine in here about 2 years ago and haven't touched it since, so I'm going to need to probably pull the plugs, make sure everything is well oiled inside of there before I try turning it over a little bit, just to make sure I don't destroy anything. Got a couple bottles of gosh, whatever that shit is that you put into rotaries. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's over in the corner back there somewhere. Dogs, stop being noisy. Rotary premix. Yeah, I should have known that one. Back side here. So let's going inside. I've got a quick release steering wheel on here. Most of the interior is stripped out, as you can see. I've got a lot of the aluminum LRB speed parts in the back here. It's probably echoing. And my custom made rear carpet there out of the car carpet thing. That was fun to do. The RX-8 seat isn't bolted down, but even though I got them for this, there is a chance I might end up going with this Recaro that I managed to pick up for an absolute steal. Managed to get this for $10 out of a yard sale, but it is way lighter than the RX-8 seats. I still might use the RX-8 seats, but even if I don't, I could probably sell them and get some money back. Down on the sides here, we've got FZ, I think, FDRZ wheels that are from Australia. There's not a lot of sets of these in the States. I've got the caps for all 4 of them, but on the front, because of where the hub thing is in the center, I actually need to put some spacers on these anyway, because bam. But once I do have that spaced out where I can fit it, I'll put the caps on there too. Inside, there is, you can't see them. I'm going to have a hard time trying to even show you this. Nah, I don't know. I've got coilovers on here, obviously, thanks to the previous owner, Jacob. He's a friend of mine. He actually has his own channel for autocross and stuff. Check him out, Drifty Bits Racing. He's kind of just started, and he's pretty awesome. But he's going to be going through a lot of the stuff that you would need to go to get started in autocross on just your basic-ass car. Because a lot of people think that they have to have something, you know, super put together before they go racing. Part of the reason why this isn't, you know, out on the track yet, but my plan is to eventually get this thing running and go out to do an autocross and NASA days and stuff like that. The power steering has been deleted on here. Got front and rear sway bars. I don't have the front ones hooked up yet. I've got like beefy sway bars. Oh gosh, these aren't sway bars. I'm an idiot. The tower strut support bar things. Got them in the front and the rear. But yeah, I have some beefy sway bars to actually put on this thing front and rear. Like I said, it's pretty stripped down. Oh yeah, up here, these are some side skirts that I've got for it. And if I can remember where I put it, I've got a Ray Amamiya front bumper for this that'll be going on here. It is the one that allows me to keep the pop-up headlights, so that's awesome. But yeah, a lot of this stuff kind of came with the car from my buddy Jacob when I got it. The only thing I had to do was source an engine. He gave me, I think it's a T2 transmission that I got in there. This was not, God, I am saying a lot. This was not a T2 car to begin with. It is a 1989 GTUs, which was basically the top tier for the non-turbo models. There was only 1,100-ish of them made. This is one of them that was basically built as kind of a homologation for their IMSA track cars. And so, you know, I'm going to be putting this back out onto the track where it deserves to be. So, because it is a GTUs, though, it does have the same rear differential as the Turbo 2. So, even though it was a non-turbo model, it did come with a couple of those like Turbo 2 performance parts, like the brakes and the differential. And the original engine for it was pumped up a little bit, like I think it was 5 or 10 horsepower over the regular non-turbo. So not a ton, but it still was a little quicker and a little bit lighter. All the GTUSs came slick top, which is nice. I have a parts RX7 in the backyard that I showed earlier in the video that has a sunroof, and unfortunately, I think because of that and the leaking and stuff like that those cause, the interior of that thing is rusty to hell. I can show you later at some point in time, but probably won't get around to it. People that know these engines a lot might be able to recognize the fact that this isn't the original engine. It's in fact not even an S5 engine. It is from an S4. There's 2 reasons for that. First reason is because, honestly, for the price of a good compression engine, it was kind of hard to pass up. I couldn't afford anything more than this at the time. And the other reason for that is that, from what I understand, the S4s take a little bit less, like wiring and other things and whatnot, to actually hook up and run. They're easier to run essentially just on a stock ECU if you have to. I do eventually want to get Mega Squirt, and who knows, depending on what has actually been done to this engine, because I got it the way it is. I never tore it apart or anything. It might be entirely probable that I will need to actually get like a Mega Squirt or some other ECU where I can tune it and make sure that everything is good. I found the Rey Mamiya bumper. I should probably get that inside. But also this has the wing on it, and I'm probably going to pull this off and put it on the other car. If I have the money, if I could figure out, I would actually love to go with like a big country wing, but we'll see what happens there. That might not be coming for a while. My priority is simply to get the other car running. Okay, going back to the garage. I was pretty sure I had this in the garage originally. I kind of feel bad about having left it out there. It is fiberglass, so it's not like it's going to rust, but that doesn't mean that it's immune to the wear and tear of the harsh weather that we have here. Toss. Oh, sorry, Jacob. Didn't hurt it, just kind of scraped it a little bit, but still. I can kind of get that on there like there, and stop barking. So yeah, you can see it's a pretty hot looking bumper. Actually, one of my favorite ones that Rey Mamiya makes, or made. I don't know if you can even find this bumper anymore. Anyway, that's probably going to be all for this video. I don't have a lot of time to work on stuff yet. I am trying to work on clearing my schedule so that I am available to make more videos, because I'd love to get stuff out for you guys. And I don't know, like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear feedback from you. I'm very new to making these YouTube videos, and even newer to recording any work that I do for video purposes. So we'll see what happens there. But I do appreciate any feedback you've got for me. But yeah, that's all I got. I'll see you next time.